Perfect, thank you very much for joining me. Yes, my name is Sean and this is MLS Ireland Does Predictions. We're into week 34, which means there's only 1 week left, so stay tuned. Perfect. Thank you very much for joining me. Yes, my name is Sean and you're watching MLS Ireland Does Predictions, and if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. I'm trying to see if I can get into the quarter, like 250 perhaps by the end of the season. So let's hope I can get there. I've started a Patreon just for the crack of it because I need a new computer badly. So I don't really care. It doesn't really matter if you do, really, but it would be cool. But anyway, so last week's predictions, well, during the week, actually got pretty well. I started off quite badly, but then done very well. And the week before that, I think just got the first game wrong and did very well. So let's carry on with this one because it is a Saturday and basically there's not much time left to basically get all this crap out. So let's get into it. The first one is Inter Miami against New York City FC. Now, Inter Miami actually, they got beat there in the last game quite probably convincingly against Atlanta. It was like a 2-1 win. But their last home games against Toronto and Cincinnati, they actually won quite comfortably, 3-0 and 5-1. So they're slowly moving up the table, but I don't think they're anywhere near getting into the playoffs at this moment, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, they're coming up against the New York City team who have won their last two, 6-0 against DC United and Chicago Fire 1-0. But their last three away games, they haven't done really that well. But all saying that, I'm going to go for like a 2-2 draw. I think these two teams are I think Inter Miami can score goals, but they can't defend. And I think New York City are in a good wee run of form of scoring quite a few goals. So I'll go for like a 2-2 draw on that one. The next one is Real Salt Lake against San Jose Earthquakes. Now, Real Salt Lake now are interesting. Their season is kind of shot all over the place. Like, they're very good at home, but they're very, very bad away from home. Like, they won their last 4 home games, which is pretty impressive. Whereas San Jose only won 1 out of their last 4 and lost to the next 3. So coming into this one, you think Real Salt Lake have the better chances in this one. San Jose are a very strange team. They can't beat anybody probably when they try, which is quite a difficult thing to do really in MLS. But anyway, I'll go for like a 2-1 win to Real Salt Lake. I just think they have the team and they're still trying to get into the playoffs, and they're this close to staying in there. The next one, 2-1. The next one is New York Red Bulls against CF Montreal. Did I pronounce that correct? Probably didn't. And again, similar kind of Montreal awful away from home. New York Red Bull okay at home. So in the last 4, New York Red Bulls won their last 2 and then drew. So they're coming into this probably a better run of form than Montreal. Their last game New York Red Bulls played actually was like a 1-0 loss. That was against DC United. But they actually done very well prior to that. And now they're coming up against the Montreal team who are starting to do very weird. Where's Montreal? They're one place below them in the Supporters' Shield. Congratulations to New England. They're not doing all that well. I think there's going to be a good wee high scoring game. I went for like a 3-2. I think Montreal have the capability. I know Montreal can score against these teams. I think they're very good on the press. So whereas New York Red Bull will press them a lot and probably win a few and lose a few, but I think their manager is probably going to set up for them being pressed and try to do around that. But I don't think they have the willpower or the skill to basically win this game. So I went for like a 3-2. The next one is Atlanta against Toronto. Now Toronto I was going to say that they were starting to do very well, and then they kind of lost 2 games, and then they drew 2 games, which wasn't great. But coming into this game, Atlanta at home, which are doing pretty impressive. Their last home game was against Inter Miami. That was like a 2-1, and then obviously they drew against New York City 1-1, and their last game before that was against Inter again. No, it was 1-0, and I think I predicted Atlanta beating. And anyway, you could just go back here and watch it. Aren't you good? Coming up against the Montreal team who I don't see them really winning this one. I went for like a 2-1 win. I think Atlanta have the capabilities now, and they're starting to finally find their feet and get into that final bits of playoffs. Perfect. And the next one is DC United against Columbus Crew. I went for, let's see, DC United actually starting to play a wee bit well. It's a bit impressively. They're they're good at home, and they're just probably not as good as away from home. Like getting beat by New York City 6-0. But they're again coming up against the Columbus Crew team, who probably similar. Saying that, DC United are on a better record at home. I think they've only drew 1 and probably lost 3 at home, which isn't too bad. Sorry, they got beat 4. And Columbus Crew have only won the 1 game away from home. So I'll kind of go for... Actually, Columbus Crew are actually in the ascendancy of scoring a few more goals, but they are conceding as well. DC United are conceding as well and scoring goals. So I'll go for like a 2-2 draw, just for the fact this should be a wee fun wee game. These two teams are probably in the ballpark of being equal, if that makes any sense. The two teams are probably capable of beating each other. This will be a draw, I would suggest. But I'm going to go for like a fun 2-2 draw. The next one is FC Dallas against Atlanta. Now another Austin, Texas derby. We're going to be playing them this season. Where are they? Austin haven't won their last 4 away from home, and Dallas haven't won their last 4 away from home, but they only drew the 1. So that probably puts them in a bit of a good run of form in compared to these two. Austin are 3rd from bottom, and Dallas are 4th from bottom. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. I kind of like for a 1-1, a 1-1 because Austin are probably in a better run of form. They've actually, in the last 8, home and away, they've actually won 3, lost 3, whereas Dallas hasn't even won at all. So I'll go for like a 1-1. I think Austin could be up for this game and actually may shock a few people. The next one is Minnesota against Sporting Kansas City. Now Sporting Kansas City now are starting to, I'm not going to say find their feet, but finding how to use Johnny Russell probably in a better way now that like they've got their own wee kind of run and all that kind of stuff where he gets it on the right and puts it on his left foot. Traditional kind of stuff. So coming up against a Minnesota team who Minnesota are actually not doing all that bad. They're in mid-table basically. Two teams basically home and away record are very similar. Minnesota 9 wins, 3 draws and 4 defeats, whereas Sporting Kansas City have 8 wins, 2 draws and 5 defeats. So, saying that, the two of them kind of have a similar kind of record coming into the last 4, so I'll go for like a 1-0. I think Sporting Kansas City will score a goal. They probably could win this one, but I think this one's going to be a bit of a tighter one, so I'll stick with my 1-1 draw on that one. Minnesota at home are a very strange team, and if their fans become loud or very behind them, they keep shocking anybody. The next one is Houston Dynamo against Colorado Rapids. Now Colorado are 4th in the league. Their last 8 games have only won the 2, which is pretty bleak. But their away record is better than Houston's home record. So it's a bit of a trickier one. I still think I'll go for like a 2-1 win. Colorado should probably win this one. Houston again at home have shocked me a few times in my predictions, kind of messed up a few, where they beat teams that I suspected them to get basically annihilated by, but I'm going to stick with my guns in this one. I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to Colorado. And the next one now is Orlando against Nashville. Good old, everybody thought it was 0-0 Nashville, who basically won, 6-3 against Cincinnati. Now the games are coming up against a Colorado team affected up again. Orlando team, who probably are actually in a better run of form in the last 8. They've only lost to 1 in the last 8, whereas Nashville have only lost to 1 as well. Saying that, I'll go for like a 1-1 draw. Nashville probably are a better team run in form at the moment. Orlando is probably still trying to get a few players back and still trying to find their feet, and I think they're just basically, they kind of know they're in the playoffs, but they kind of want to stay in there, but I think they're content with where they are, so I don't think they're going to go for this game. Going to go really be up for this game. And now the last one is Philadelphia against Cincinnati. Poor old Cincinnati. I think they're going to get a good kick in this one, unfortunately. Sorry, Cincinnati. You've already played Philadelphia on the 5th of October. Sorry, the 10th of October, and lost 2-1 at home. So coming up against Philadelphia in Philadelphia, who have a brilliant record at home. Their last 4 they've won, whereas Cincinnati in their last 4 away from home have lost. And I could probably suggest that you can go away and back more than that. They haven't even won anything in the last 8 home or away. So I'll go for like a 3-0 win to Philadelphia, just for the fact that Philadelphia are pretty good at home and Cincinnati are pretty awful away from home. So those were my predictions. Hope you enjoyed this. There's going to be one more on Twitch, kind of doing the wee fill-ins and all that kind of stuff, and then one more after this, then it's into the playoffs. God knows what's going to happen. So if you made it that far, thank you very much for watching me, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye now.